Welcome to another chapter in understanding the woman you are becoming. I am Maryam Akano-Lawal, the founder of Becoming a Movement, where we are documenting journey of women rebuilding their identity, becoming visible, building meaningful work, and creating legacies they can be proud of. This isn't a place for quick motivation. It's a place for honest conversations, practical growth, and the quiet work of becoming. So, let's begin to this chapter. There is something in your house right now that already knows your dreams. Not your husband, not your children, not even your best friend. A notebook. You know exactly where it is. You don't even need to think about it because you know where it is. If I ask you to bring it out right now, you probably could. So somewhere inside that notebook, there is a page. Yeah, there is a page that begins with words like my goals this year, things I want to achieve. You haven't forgotten those dreams, right? I know you haven't, but you have just stopped visiting that book. Why? So let me ask you something. When was the last time you opened that page? Not to write another plan, just to see the woman who wrote it. Because something changed. The handwriting stayed the same, but the woman who wrote it actually changed. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides, I'm going to give up on my life. It doesn't happen like that. It happens quietly. Life gets busy. Child gets sick. Bills increases. You get pregnant. Work becomes demanding. Someone disappoints you. You tell yourself, I will come back to it when life settles. Another month passes. Then another year. And without you noticing, waiting begins to feel normal to you. It's not because you choose it willingly, but because you rehearse it. I have been thinking about this for a very long time now. I don't think most women are waiting because they don't know what to do. I think many already know. Yes, we know exactly what to do. We know the course we want to take, the business we want to start, the video we want to post, the conversation they need to have, the application they should submit. The dream isn't hiding, but the decision is. And every day that decision waits, another version of you quietly grows stronger. The version that says, maybe later. Maybe next week, maybe when I'm more confident. Here is what actually breaks my heart. That version begins to sound reasonable until one day you mistake it for your personality. Something that quietly grows and you mistake that for your personality. A few months ago, I asked myself a question that makes me uncomfortable. What if I'm not waiting because I'm unprepared? What if I'm waiting because waiting has become so familiar with me? That question made me realize something. Our future really changes because of one dramatic moment. It changes because of one honest decision that we repeated constantly, protected, honored. That's why I call this decision the decision ladder. Every meaningful life is built on one decision above another, not one giant leap, one small step, then another. I used to say this: you shouldn't let your present situation to determine your future, because in future you will later sit down and realize that you should have done something even when life was busy. Maybe your first step isn't quitting your job. Maybe it isn't launching a business tomorrow. Maybe it isn't recording 10 videos this week. Maybe your first step is much quieter. Opening the notebook again, writing one sentence, sending one message, recording one imperfect video, applying for one more opportunity, reading one page, saying yes to one thing you have been postponing, because the woman you are praying to become might be waiting on something that is small, not big. If you are waiting for confidence before you move, you will never be confident because you are going to wait forever. Confidence usually arrives after movement, after you've taken an action, not before you took that action. Think about the women you admire. Every one of us has someone we actually admire a lot. They weren't born believing in themselves. They simply kept making decisions that future-proofed the woman they want to become. They took one decision, one ordinary day, again and again. So before you leave today, I want you to think about one question, not 10, just one. What decision have you been postponing that your future self has been waiting for? Don't answer me. Answer yourself honestly. Then make it today. Because the woman you are becoming isn't built in one extraordinary moment. She is built in ordinary moments that most people overlook. So if today's chapter helped you see yourself a little more clearly, share it with another woman who needs this conversation. Subscribe if you are committed to becoming and not just consuming. Because every Friday, we don't just chase motivation. We understand the woman we are becoming. I am Maryam Akano-Lawal, founder of Becoming a Movement, documenting the journey of women rebuilding their identity, building meaningful work, and creating lasting legacies, one chapter at a time. Until our next chapter, keep becoming.